everyone! I'm your host, once again bringing you greetings from our ThriveWell channel. Exercising on an empty stomach is a subject which is widely debated. Some people swear by it, and some hate it. But what does science have to say about it? Is it good for you to exercise on an empty stomach? Or will you be better off having something in your stomach before working out? Let us discuss this further. First of all, let's talk about exercising on an empty stomach. What does that mean exactly? An empty stomach usually means that you haven't eaten anything 2 to 3 hours prior to your workout. And in that case, doing light exercises like walking or yoga asanas would be perfectly fine. But when we are talking about more intense forms of exercises such as cardio, strength training, high-intensity interval training, or cross-training, then it is important that you know whether your body is ready for it or not. For example, low-intensity exercises like walking help you burn fat, but they also help you maintain your muscle mass. On the other hand, high-intensity exercises can help you build muscle, but they can also lead to muscle loss if not done correctly. So it's important that you understand your body's needs and fuel them accordingly. The idea behind exercising on an empty stomach is that you will end up burning more fat. And while that may be true, it's not necessarily a good thing. Burning fat should not come at the cost of losing muscle mass or feeling weak. And that is where pre-workout snacks come in. A small snack before a workout can help improve your performance by giving you energy and preventing muscle loss. Another argument in favor of exercising on an empty stomach is that it helps reduce bloating and speed up the digestion. But that is not always true because it really depends on your body. Some people do experience reduced bloating after a meal, but for others, it can be quite the opposite. So here's the bottom line. If you are someone who wants to exercise first thing in the morning before breakfast, then it is perfectly okay. Just make sure you don't push yourself too hard. Save the heavy lifting and high-intensity workouts for later in the day when you've had something to eat. If you are someone who exercises later in the day, then feel free to have a small snack before working out. But avoid heavy meals, especially those high in fat, because they can cause stomach discomfort and reduce your energy levels. Now let's look into some of the advantages of exercising on an empty stomach. First of all, exercising on an empty stomach can help improve your endurance. This is because when you work out on an empty stomach, your body is forced to use fat as fuel instead of carbohydrates. This can help increase your endurance over time. However, it is important that you do not overdo it and exhaust your body. Another advantage of exercising on an empty stomach is that it can help reduce bloating and speed up the digestion. Some people experience reduced bloating after a meal, but for others, it can be quite the opposite. So if you are one of those who experiences bloating after a meal, try exercising on an empty stomach. You may find that it helps improve your digestive system. Another advantage of exercising on an empty stomach is that it can help reduce appetite and aid in weight loss. When you exercise, your body releases endorphins, which are feel-good hormones that can reduce stress and decrease appetite. This is why people often feel less hungry after a workout. However, exercising on an empty stomach can also have some disadvantages. First of all, it can cause low blood sugar levels, which can lead to fatigue, weakness, dizziness, and even fainting. That is why it is important that you start slowly and gradually increase the intensity of your workout over time. Another disadvantage of exercising on an empty stomach is that it can lead to muscle loss. When you exercise, your body breaks down muscle tissue in order to repair and rebuild it stronger than before. However, if you do not eat anything before working out, your body will not have the energy it needs to rebuild muscle tissue. This can lead to muscle loss over time. Also, exercising on an empty stomach can cause dehydration. When you sweat, you lose fluids and electrolytes. If you do not replace these fluids, you can become dehydrated. Dehydration can cause fatigue, weakness, dizziness, and even heat stroke. So make sure to drink plenty of water before, during, and after your workout. Finally, exercising on an empty stomach can lead to poor performance. When you are hungry, your body does not have the energy it needs to perform at its best. This can lead to decreased strength, endurance, and overall performance. So if you are going to exercise on an empty stomach, make sure to have a small snack beforehand. So overall, the decision of whether or not to exercise on an empty stomach is a personal one. There is no clear winner, so it is important to listen to your body and do what feels right for you. However, if you are experiencing any negative side effects, such as low blood sugar, muscle loss, or poor performance, then it is important to stop and eat something. If you are pregnant or breastfeeding, then it is important that you consult with your doctor before exercising on an empty stomach. In general, it is advisable for pregnant and breastfeeding women to eat something before working out in order to ensure that they are providing their bodies and their babies with the nutrients they need. There is no doubt that regular exercise is beneficial for our physical and mental health. Exercise can help reduce stress, improve mood, and boost energy levels. However, the timing of your workout can also play a role in how you feel afterwards. In general, it is advisable to exercise at a time of day when you feel most energetic. This could be in the morning, afternoon, or evening. It is also important to listen to your body and take rest days when needed. Overtraining can lead to burnout, injuries, and other physical and mental problems. It has been proven many times that regular exercise is essential for maintaining good health. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommends that adults get at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity aerobic activity per week, along with muscle strengthening exercises, targeting all major muscle groups 2 or more days a week. However, it is important to start slowly and gradually increase the intensity and duration of your workouts over time. But remember, it is not just about the intensity and duration of your workouts. It is also important to pay attention to the timing. Exercising at the wrong time of day can lead to decreased energy levels, mood swings, and other physical problems. So it is important to experiment and find out what works best for you. There are also some specific timings, which are considered to be more beneficial for exercising. For example, exercising in the morning can help kickstart your metabolism and set the tone for a more active day. Exercising in the evening, on the other hand, can help you relax and sleep better at night. Ultimately, the best time to exercise is the time that you are most likely to stick to it consistently. So, there you have it, folks. Exercising on an empty stomach is not necessarily bad for you, but it is important to do it correctly. Listen to your body and take rest days when needed. And above all, consult with your healthcare provider before making any major changes to your workout routine. We hope you found this video informative and useful. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. We would love to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.